Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's Pick a Read. The subject for this week is when will it happen? And this is going to be valid for whenever you're watching it. You'll see when you choose it, it doesn't matter what season you're watching this in because it'll say, we'll get there, you'll see. Just so whenever you're watching this, be it in the October that I'm recording it, later, a couple months, the next year, whenever it is, it's when will it happen? It'll give you like within that time frame. You'll see. So just go ahead. When we get into this, choose the stone that works for you. For this reading, I'm going to use the Halloween Oracle by Stacy DeMarco, the Secret Language of Color Cards by Anna Segal, and the Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue. I was going to say something else. I don't remember what it was. But the cards I'm using to give more description about how it's happening when it does happen. So we're going to do 5 piles. Let's see what we want to do here. I'm kind of still shuffling them for, I don't know why. I did shuffle them before we got into this, but for some reason I just feel like being a little saucy with it, so I guess we're going to... Why is this still at the top? There we go. Are we done? We're done with that one. Let's do these. I am feeling a little saucy with it, don't know why. No, I don't think I want to use those. Okay, and we got one deck left. Yeah, actually I do think I want these the way they are. Alright, so we got all those. Let's get the rocks on them now so you can decide what you want to choose. You might even actually want to choose before I put the rocks out. So go ahead, if you want, go ahead, look at them now and decide which one, because maybe the rocks will influence you differently. I often also tell people, like, you might want to pick one, the pile you're very attracted to, but also if there's one pile that you find very repulsive, you might also want to keep that in mind. That might be a different message you need to hear that maybe you're not open to. Just something I found for myself that's actually been beneficial, whether I want to hear it or not. Just saying, you might want to, you may not want to, it's up to you. And we got these little things here. Okay, so first pile we're going to do is the Lapiz Lazuli. Then we'll do the Rose Quartz. Then we'll do the Rainbow Hematite, the Amethyst, and then the green Calcite, according to the person I bought it from. Which I do think that's what that is, not that I would know different. Alright, so this is going to be one. We're just in the position of 2, 3, 4. Just going to move them over here. Hopefully I remember to do them in the correct way. Who knows with me, but we'll find out. Okay, so the first one we're going to do, Lapiz Lazuli, typically good for communication. This one has a bit of earth tone through it, so I a lot of times feel like this is a very grounding element to it. It kind of brings you back to a neutral sense, talking and being careful about what you're saying and thinking about what you're saying and where the words you're saying now are going to lead you later, how they're going to come back to you. It's like whatever you put out comes back, and it's like seeing this right off the bat. Like whatever I say now, it's going to come back and haunt me later. Could come back and haunt me later. So you want to know, when will it happen? So that's your answer, and here's the circumstances around it. This is like a whole situation is what I'm getting. I feel like this is what's going to actually happen. Your answer, no time soon, and here is the reason why. So if you're wondering when is it going to happen, some of you are actually, I feel like, are going to like seeing that that's no time soon. I don't know why, but you know, it's a general thing, so you could leave in the comments why. That'd be great to let me know. Now, no time soon. Very careful communication happening here. I'm getting that's why this stone is locking in with this. And when I'm also feeling this, you're getting along with this person or this situation. It could be a situation for some people. You're getting along. Things are going very tranquil. Everybody wants to continue to get along. There's very deep bonds here. So if you're asking, for example, when is something going to break up, or when is this person going to leave somebody else, some of you might be asking that, actually. When is so-and-so going to leave their partner? No time soon. There's a deeper love than you're aware of. It's more tranquil between the two of them, but they may meet the eye. They seem to get along very well. There's codependency issues. And the coral, to me, is a very joyful color. On this card it says, allow the flow and synchronicity. Allow flow and synchronicity to flow into your life. To me, it's a very joyful color. To me, it's a very fun, it can feel a little bit dangerous, but it looks very pretty. So I'm feeling like they're actually enjoying life. There's a lot of joy here, is what I'm getting. Because no time soon, this isn't going to happen, because if it's not going well right now, it's about to get a lot better. Honeymoon is saying there's coming into a period of good times, a period where people just believe it's going to be fine. It's better to hold on to what is going on than let it go. So no time soon seems to be the answer for this one. So it may be short and sweet and to the point, but that's the honest answer for this one. Tranquility too with this lavender. I'm getting a tranquil feeling here. It says mild and something. And I have a rude phone that needs to shut up. Sorry. For those of you who are like looking at this and this is not something you wanted to see because you were like wanting something to finish off, or wondering, for example, when are people going to get their just desserts? I feel like they're calming the situation and they're calming the situation down. They're calming it down, and there's codependency issues here too. If you're waiting for somebody to get their just desserts, I feel like the person that would call them out on that, seems to lose something as well if they do call them out on that. So they're not gonna. I'm feeling people are gonna get along. The situation's gonna calm down. It's not gonna come forward anytime soon. All right, so that's the answer for that. Let's see what else we have here for you for the next stone. I'm gonna actually just pop these up over here. Put that up there, and we're gonna put this stone back where it belongs. The next stone, rose quartz. Rose quartz is about love and connecting with love and the inner love. Sometimes this is about non-judgmental or unconditional love. I found that for this, which maybe people think that's obvious, but to me, I'm just like, I used to think it was more romantic love. Give me 1 second. This phone, I'm gonna throw it out the door. Throw it out the door. Okay. There we go. Once in a while, it just starts going off and people start texting me, and I'm like, listen, I got other things to go on. I got other things going on in life here. Stop texting me. All right. No, I think this all goes here. Yep, this all goes here. So this is for the people who chose the rose quartz. Your answer is this month. So the answer for yours is this month. So if you're watching this in the month I'm recording it, then there you go. Whatever month, whenever you are watching this, that's when this is effective. This month is what they're saying. And here's how it's going to happen. Skull of flowers there at the end. I really like this. And again, if you're not aware, if you haven't come to my channel before, I'm an intuitive reader, so I just kind of go with what I'm feeling from the cards. When I got orange coming in with the werewolf, I feel like this is a very fun, passionate moment. I do get there's a little bit of aggravation actually bringing this in. When somebody's coming into the situation in a good feeling, they want what they want, they know what they want, they seem very clear on their intention. They feel like it's necessary to come forward with a lot of strength. This is something they've been brewing about for a while. And they believe that this is what they deserve. So they're coming forward and they're bringing the situation forward. This is going to cause possibly an upset with you. You'll note this is your side is what I'm getting. It's a little bit open. Depending on how you feel about it, it could be very disruptive for some of you. It could be a little shocking for some of you. But what I'm getting here is like your initial reaction is going to be more, it's more about where it's going than where the initial reaction. Some of you might end up in a little bit of an argument with this person. Others of you, I feel like, might just look at him like, look at this person like a deer in the headlights. But this person comes forward with a bit of passion because they believe, they've been brewing on it, and they believe that this is something they deserve. That deserve word really pops out there. As it keeps going forward, after the discord happens, and I get this deserved love, that this feels like there's a little bit of discord here. When the situation that calms down and cools down a little bit, that you and whoever this is are going to come back together. The violet is making me feel like this person is saying, you know what, I meant what I said, I just probably said it more aggressively than I needed to. Because I'm getting that violet coming in with a little bit more humility, a bit of like that inner knowing, like, you know, I could have done this better. Looking back on hindsight, like I could have done this a little better. Having a little bit more personal insight about where they want things to go, that they need to kind of own up to how they said things. I don't feel like they lied about anything, but I feel like the way it came off, they're looking back like, I really wish I said that a little more eloquently. I'm getting the jack-o'-lantern feel here is like, I feel you're okay in the sense of like, this person is owning up to what they said. You're thankful for the truth. You know, it's happened. You've been waiting for this to happen as it is, so you're happy that it has finally happened. The mode of delivery maybe wasn't the best, but still, the fact that it actually happened, that's what you wanted. I'm getting like you're happy here. With the jack-o'-lantern, I know it says protection under there, but maybe that's why you're happy, because you feel more secure with how this actually finally came out, and finally this person said what they needed to say. The Skull of Flowers, I feel very good about this. It's like, you know what? Things may not be perfect. Things may be different than I originally planned, but I'm happy to know the truth. I'm happy to be moving forward, and I'm happy this has finally been taken care of. And I do get the reason this stone is being used is because there's a lot of love here. You care about this person. They do care about you too. Even if it's a work relationship, you mean something to this person. They do care about what happens to you, and they do care about how things affect you. This is somebody who genuinely does have interest in how things affect you, is what I'm getting. And this is another reason why it ends up in a good way for you. Is that it? I feel like this is quick. I feel like these today are going really, really fast. They're going really, really fast. Okay. It's not a bad thing. I guess we're getting right to the point today. Sometimes there's a lot of, you know, verbiage going on there. Other times, right to the point, short and sweet. Which might be me today. Maybe I'm just short and sweet today. I don't know. I'm 5'7", if that matters. Does that make me short? Maybe to some people. Maybe not to others. Alright, now let's do this one. This is the Rainbow Hematite. This is I've noticed this more as I go forward. This is seeming to be a stone that helps you reclaim your own power, reclaim your own control over yourself and over a situation that you believe you should have control over. It has been known to have control over other people too, and to be able to influence other people. So keep that in mind as we keep going forward here. There's the answer, which we'll get to that in a minute. Here's how it's going to happen. That is going to lead to this. This, part 1, part 2, this is how this is going to happen. And when this is all going to happen is... Oh, this is the fun one. During Leo, either the sun sign or the moon sign, July at the latest. So, like, if you follow moon signs, they change, I want to say, about every 2.5 days. Somebody out there who's more rehearsed in astrology could probably tell you how long technically it goes. I want to say it's like every 2.5 or maybe every 2 3/4, something like that. Maybe 2 1/3. I don't know. Somebody will say. And thank that person for me, because I probably will get on there and see it in 10 days from now. But like, if you follow moon signs, if you look them up online, you could find a chart over the next year every time the moon's going to be in Leo. For example, the next full moon, it's going to be in Taurus, I want to say. The moon's going to be in Taurus, so whenever that next full moon is, I believe it's in Taurus. And it doesn't mean that the Leo full moon, because that was actually, or that would be sometime during the time of Aquarius. But So the Aquarius full moon, this could be the Aquarius full moon for you. But, for example, if you're watching this in August of next year, August of 2019, this could be any time the Leo's in the moon aspect or in the sun aspect, just so you know. Not that we haven't beat that to death. Okay. You got rose. I like rose. What does that say? Attract a relationship. Let's see how that goes. Those are very beautiful colors together. I actually like those. What are these? Very soon, enjoy. Alright, so when will it happen? I shouldn't laugh. That's kind of a devious laugh. So it's saying, you know, either when the moon is in Leo or July. You can look up a chart online if you want to find out when the moon's going to be in Leo. So it's saying in one of those time frames, and you might want to match up like when the moon is in Leo and like what you have going on at those times, because it might be quite obvious to you when this is actually going to happen. You're attracting this outcome is what I'm getting. The rose with the blue here, because they both, this says attractive. What does this say? Attract? Activate your healing power, attract a relationship. No, you're pulling this forward. I really feel like you're pulling forward this outcome. But you need resolution is also what I'm getting from this. So you're making this happen. You need resolution. This needs to happen. So you're pulling it forward. They're also saying you might learn a kind of a rough lesson here. For some of you, and I know this is not for everybody, so please take this with a grain of salt, because I know somebody's going to get insulted for me just saying this. But the truth is what's coming through. Some of you are asking for it, and some of you are putting your nose in where it doesn't belong. It's just the intuitive information. If it resonates, great. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. But I'm getting, they're saying somebody is definitely putting their nose in where they don't belong, and you know what? You are bringing about an outcome. It's going to be rough when it actually hits. But they're saying joy, and very soon. It's going to return back. Everything's going to be fine. Nothing that's not going to, you know, heal. But you need resolution. You need to know what's going on. You need to know the truth. And what I'm getting is that for some of you, I feel like you're really putting your nose in where it doesn't belong. I'm sorry if that's insulting. It's just how it's coming through. Like if you chose this stone, I'm just saying. It's not everybody. There are going to be some of you who are getting dragged into something unwillingly. So I feel like that's the other side of this coin. Because I do feel like there's the ability to walk away from this situation. Either you're kind of putting your nose in where it doesn't belong, or somebody's pulling you in, and you really should tell them, no, I don't want to be a part of this, and step away from them, but you're having a hard time doing that. I feel like it's left or right on this, just to be fair. I'm just going to honor the information as it comes through. Take it with a grain of salt. Again, I know somebody's going to get upset, and I'm going to get it in the comments. I know it, but it's how it's coming through. I got to honor the message. But when it does come through, and it does happen, it's going to be rough for a moment, but everything will return back. Everything will return back to a good moment. I feel like it might be a week, maybe two at the most, where things are rough, but they will go back to be in a good situation. The situation will return back, and it may return back to a place where it hasn't been in a good place for a long time, and this might actually kick it back into a good place. So maybe even though you're kind of putting your nose in where it doesn't belong, if that's the message for you, maybe it's for the best. Maybe it really is. You know what I mean? Maybe people are going to benefit from this, even though, hey, it's not your business. But you know what? Made the situation better. Hey, there you go. Because this rainbow hematite is kind of like, that's kind of having control over other people, or getting control of a situation that you think has been taken away from you, returning control back to you sometimes. That's what I found with this. So, again, take it with a grain of salt. Nothing meant to be insulting. I mean, everybody chooses the stone they want. I don't know who you are, just so you know. You don't even have to admit that you watched the video. That's all I'm saying. Are we good? I think we're good. All right, so that one went by quick too. These are really, like, the answers are coming right to the point. I guess it's not really a complicated question, though, if we're going to be fair. And the answers we got written down, I mean, they get right to the point too. So there you go. All right, what do we have next? Amethyst, the spiritual stone. Sometimes this is psychic insight, I've noticed. I want to think that's what it's supposed to be anyway. I feel like this is sometimes having a leg up on the situation just by having the inner knowing and seeing the different angles that you could actually move through life with this by just having that insight. I'm very mesmerized by the glitteriness of it, I'll be honest with you. Okay, I love this stone. I think it's really, really pretty. I hope it shows up on camera as pretty as it looks like in real life here. Alright, that's coming over here for some reason. We got like a distance. I feel like there's kind of like a ladder feel here. These are outliers. These are your side. Okay. When will it happen? Before the full moon. Again, like I said in the beginning, keep this in mind. It's before the next full moon from whatever time you're watching this. You got aqua and you got, does that say brilliance? Brilliance is a color? I guess it is. There you go. Brilliance is a color now. If it wasn't before, it is now. Although, mother of pearl in that one commercial where that lady asked that kid what color her teeth are. Mother of pearl. Is that really a color? I'm just saying. Alright, so here's what you're going through before the full moon. So, you got the skull of darkness. Keep an open mind. Passion. Is that indigo? Indigo. There's a lot of psychic energy with this. Indigo, this stone. Brilliance makes me feel like, when I'm feeling brilliance and the whiteness with the blue, crown chakra. It's almost like they're saying, you know what, this was going to happen. Just buckle your seatbelt and hold on. And I feel like that's how you're feeling about this. Like, just buckle in. Hold on, brace yourself, here we go. And like, there you go. Before we get into this part, from here to here, I feel like this is a little bit like, this is just what I gotta do. It's just time to buckle in and go for it. Aqua, I feel things are more calmer and nice. Is the word peace on there? I think that the word is peace and calm. That fits for me. It feels very nice. It feels very soothing. It feels very healing. So we're going from a spot where you're like, all right, just going to buckle in and we'll see what happens. And you're going to end up in a spot where it's more healing and more comforting. You feel a lot better about the situation. Now, the skull of darkness, I think this says blind spots, which a mess. And it's coming forward, and now when you create a mess, you own a piece of it. You're going to get your share. Now, it's not saying that whoever chose the stone, did it. It's not saying you're the one who created the mess, but the person who did, and you know what you're looking at. So if you know somebody created this mess, their due date is here. The expiration date for the sour cream has come, and it's time to throw it out, because here we go. So, and I do understand that some of you watching, yes, you created the situation, but I feel like a lot of you are looking at this like, I didn't create the situation, and that's cool. But the person who did create it is going to get their just desserts. So if somebody you care about seems to be getting crapped on left and right, just keep in mind, maybe they created this situation. Just keep that in mind. Because you have to keep an open mind. As they keep going forward, the situation they created, it's coming to light. And their involvement with it is coming to light, and their due is coming. The due is here. Due date is here. Time to pay up. Got to pay the rent. Let's get it done. I'm getting, when this happens to whoever it is, be it you or somebody else, it becomes a very, very detailed, intense situation. Detailed too. I feel detail here. The passion is coming through like it's kind of trying to fight it. But the more, whoever this is, whoever owns this black skull, this skull of darkness, whoever owns that, they're going to pay their due. And if they fight it, if they try to get, the more passion they put against fighting it, the worse it's going to get. The best way to handle this, whether it be you or somebody else, and if you're seeing somebody you love fight this and it just keeps getting worse, you might want to give them the heads up of just own it so it can finish out. Own your piece of it. So it will stop, and so you can end it, so you can just come to resolution with it, because it's going to happen. The more you fight it, the more whoever this is fights it, the worse it's going to get. It will not stop until that person owns, whoever this person is, owns their piece of the pie, owns what they created. Indigo coming in here is telling me they know it. Whoever this is, right, you or somebody else, they know that they're going to have to just, suck it up and say what happened and how they own it or what they did to bring this forward. Gonna have to own it. Gonna have to own it. The black cat at the end here, fortune meets opportunity. I'm not afraid of black cats. I mean, I'm just not. I don't really think that's a thing, but I know people are. Whatever. Black cats, to me, are very warm and loving, and they're very beautiful animals. Very beautiful. People tend to be afraid of it, and I feel like that's the outcome. People are afraid of the outcome. This person is afraid of the outcome. They're afraid, whoever it is afraid of owning up, wondering what that's going to mean going forward. But I feel like there's a lot of knowledge, a lot to be garnered from this. You will be at peace, whoever, whether it be you or somebody else, will also come to peace with this situation once it is owned up to. I feel if this is something that you own a piece of this dark skull of darkness, whatever, your peace comes by just like letting it go and saying, well, this is my piece of it. This is what I did to help create where we are right now. Whatever it is, however little it may be, just owning up to like, well, this is what I know. This is what my hand in it was. If you literally don't have a hand in this, but somebody else is going through this, I feel your tranquility comes for just coaching them through it. Just saying, you know what, just own your piece of it. Just own your piece of it. Just say what you did. Say what you did to own. Say your piece of the pie. How you had a hand in whatever this was, however innocent at the time it was or wasn't. Doesn't matter. Just own to it. It will free you. In this case, it really will. And I feel like your piece comes from just letting them know, like, this is the best you can do. Just own your piece of the pie. Black cat to me is saying this is being afraid of what's in front of you when it's really not bad once it's owned up. It's really a wonderful, nice thing. Just got to own up to it. A lot of knowledge and reward and letting it go. Because I feel like the reward itself is like it being finally over. It's finally out there. It's no longer holding anybody down. This is coming before the full moon, though. So keep that in mind. So whenever you're watching this, you might want to just take a look and see when that next full moon is. Okay? Good. That one was good. We got one left? We do. We got the green calcite. I want to say that's a healing stone. I think it relieves stress and it relieves baggage, actually. Now that it's popping into my head, I think it does. Find out in a minute, won't we? Alright, green calcite. There's the green. I do feel like this is a healing stone. I feel like it's relieving stress, relieving old baggage. I want to say that's what this does. It's interesting because the shard I got here it almost looks like a piece of glass in a way to me. I really think it's beautiful. Now, let's just get the cards. Alright, let me move this out of the way. There's a centralized feel here. I feel like it's kind of like going around in a circle kind of way. I don't know if I can get this on camera because that's how I feel this is going. And then that's removing old baggage is what I'm really feeling with this. When? When is this going to happen? Next season. Which, unless you're watching a show on TV and you're wondering, is it going to happen this season or next season? Well, it's going to be next season. But otherwise, for example, it's fall now. This would be saying next season, winter. So in winter, if you're watching this in spring, it's going to happen in summer. That's the next season. That's how I'm viewing that. Just so you know. So next season, the next season that's coming forward is when this is going to happen. It's going to be releasing old baggage is what I'm also getting. Here's the central issue. Plum. Overcoming challenges. That kind of makes sense to me. You got chocolate. Nourish your body and soul. Well, I don't know. I feel like chocolate's a little bit something else here. This might be more bittersweet feel to me. Chemistry. Let your friends help you. This seems to be everything going on around this situation. You got zombie. You got the Lady of De los Muertos, which I'm probably saying that wrong, and I'm apologizing right off the bat for that because I'm very bad with pronunciations. Bad with names too, by the way. Overcoming your challenges. When is this going to happen the next season? This feels kind of murky. This feels kind of smoky. Feels kind of funhouse-like to me. What I'm getting from this is kind of like someone is coming forward and calling you out. When is this going to happen? Next season. But if you're not in this already, you might get dragged into it, just so you know. Because I feel somebody coming directly towards the person who chose this stone, whoever you may be, and calling you out on what they think you own to this situation. So I would be careful of that. I feel like that might be kind of like a heads up to some of you watching, feeling like you're completely out of the situation, or it's like something you're not really connected to. You might have chose this stone as a heads up. Don't get pulled into this. Be very careful about who you're talking to and how, even though you might not technically be in the situation, somebody else perceiving that you are, even though you're not. So be careful. Keep an open mind, like how that could come back and get you in the butt. Because I feel somebody else is saying you are. When I'm getting chemistry, like, even though I feel like for most of you, you're not really in this situation that deeply, but somebody else is saying you are. There's chemistry here pulling you in. You got let your friends help you, and you're noticing this is kind of on its side, which is questionable of how much of a friend this really is. Remember, it's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt. Somebody's saying you're more to blame. I feel like somebody's saying you're more to blame with this than you actually are. So even if you are directly a part of this situation, the person pulling you in, and I'm getting the bittersweet feel here, it might be somebody who seems like a friend, who may throw you under the bus to save their own skin, especially if they don't think you're going to realize they did it. So be careful. Fair warning. Releasing old baggage might be releasing this friend, because you might think somebody's a friend that really isn't. Keep that in mind. Now what you got going on here are 3 other aspects to the situation. The Skull of Light. I'm getting truth. I'm getting like the inner knowing, somebody hunting out the truth, somebody finding out what your real involvement is with this. It's almost like the light of day will be seen. So if this person lied, not only is it going to come forward that they called you out on something that maybe you had nothing to do with, but then the truth will be unearthed. The Lady de los Muertos, she's very beautiful to me. Now, when I'm getting acceptance and equalities, what I feel like is I feel like she knows all the ins and outs. She knows all the tricks. And she knows like when somebody's trying to pull one over on her, she's like, I can do all this all myself, so there's nothing you can do that I can't do myself. And since I can already do it myself, I know what you're doing because I've done it. So I feel like this person can see right through the situation. Be aware of this person, because if you had a hand in it, I would just own it right off the bat. Own it. If you own it right off the bat with this person, you'll get this person's respect. They will help you find out the truth and help you protect yourself. Because I feel like this is somebody who has a very strong humanity within themselves. Like, they don't think they're better than anybody. They've done things wrong themselves. If there's anything you feel you did was a little bit shady or not really the best, owning up to it right off the bat will gain this person's respect. They'll connect with that, like, you know what, I've done things in my life too. I respect you for owning it. They will help protect you and get you through the situation. Keep that in mind. I don't feel like this person is somebody who's close to you currently, just to be fair. Because what's going to happen here is the zombie, and I feel like it's reversed, it's getting rid of old fear. It's getting rid of nonsensical fear, is what I'm getting. It's releasing you from the control. It does say control there, but you're not going to be controlled by the fear, is what I'm getting. I feel like it's releasing nonsensical fear. And this person, Lady de los Muertos, which I'm probably saying it wrong, she's the person. It could be any gender, just so you know. This person is bringing forth the truth. They will help you and honor you if you honor them and tell them how you really completely connect to it. Don't hold anything back, because they'll see right through you. Don't hold anything back. They will see right through you. This is how you're going to get rid of that old baggage. Just tell them. Tell them and just let it be, because they're going to find it out anyway. They really will. And, you know, as a result, you might get rid of a friend who's not really so much a friend, just so you know. Just so you know. Because I feel like somebody might be throwing you under the bus with the whole thought of, like, saving their own skin, but also thinking you'll never find out. but you will find out. And I feel like this person will also help you figure that out too. And I think we're there. All right, that's the last one. All right, well, thank you for watching. I hope that helped. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.